So for the next question, we'll start with Margie Ellis. A big story in D3 this year involved the North Lakes Preservation Group fighting to protect their neighborhood. In fact, neighborhoods all across town have mobilized to manage growth via small area plans, similar to what we asked in D2. But what do you feel is your responsibility toward protecting neighborhoods during this period of expansion? And do you currently support upzoning to put high-density units inside neighborhoods that are currently zoned single-family?
You packed a lot in that question, Matt. I guess I'll go with that last statement first. In all my time on planning and zoning, every decision I made had to do with compatibility and neighborhood preservation, and did it fit or not. So when you just use the blanket term upzoning, am I for infill in neighborhoods? Yes, I absolutely am. And does that mean upzoning for something that doesn't necessarily work with what's already on the ground surrounding? No, I do not believe in that. Neighborhood preservation, growth around neighborhood preservation is imperative to again, discuss and look at what is already on the ground and how people are living there now. I can use an example this week at Planning and Zoning with a development that has come before an area in the west part of town that is highly incompatible with the rural fringe that is out there right now, the way people are living. And I have supported that neighborhood in that fight, and I think it has been proven in my time on P&Z how the collaboration between community and developer has gotten better, so that developments can either happen with better compatibility by collaborating with the neighborhood in what would make that agreeable to everyone, or in something that just doesn't fit, that gives that community a voice and makes that developer either try or not to get their development passed. And I'll stop talking because I just keep right going.
And Suzi Rumohr, do you need that question repeated?
I think I got it. I hope. So basically, Denton's status quo over the past several decades is we build two types of housing options. It's almost always an out-of-town, large-scale developer, right? And they're either building a giant single-family home subdivision and consuming a bunch of space and tearing down a bunch of trees, or it's a large out-of-town developer that is building a large multifamily complex, right? There's not a lot being built in the middle. I would like to see us have more options in the middle. Denton used to build them. Nick, wherever he went, oh, there you are. Nick was mentioning, his neighborhood just north of UNT has a mix of different housing types. We used to build those, and those have gone away. Right now, the median list price for a single-family home is $415,000. That means that your household income needs to be $117,000 to afford that. How many people in the audience have a home, like a homeowner? How many of you could afford that same home today at its current price? Zero. Oh, maybe one. Okay, I know you bought that one somewhat recently, at least one of those hands. So, I support data-driven and city transportation planning that helps us with these problems. Like I live in a single-family home. I could not afford my home either in today's prices. We need to look at meaningful ways to keep those prices lower. I want to see us protect single-family neighborhoods by avoiding some of these sudden changes that we're seeing. If large multifamily is our only option, I want to see us provide some of those smaller incremental options that blend in better with neighborhoods, so we're not facing some of these big incompatible changes all the time. I want to see the system change a little bit so that we're seeing fewer of the things that we don't want to see. Every decision has trade-offs. If elected, I want to ensure we're discussing the pros and cons of each option, how they impact people differently, and then work together to achieve our larger goals that we say we have for our community.
Thank you. DeVinney.
Matt, could you repeat the question, please?
Yes. A big story in D3 this year involved the North Lakes Preservation Group fighting to protect their neighborhood. Neighborhoods all across town have mobilized to manage growth via small area plans. What do you feel is your responsibility toward protecting neighborhoods during this expansion? And do you currently support upzoning to put high-density units inside neighborhoods that are currently zoned for single-family residential?
Okay, so I've spent 20 years in organizations and in projects that protect neighborhoods. I've been on small area plans, I was on HLC. I first got involved in politics protecting my own neighborhood from an apartment complex in the middle of a block of single-family homes. So I'm a big believer in neighborhood preservation. As far as upzoning is concerned, I hope everybody here has read the Urban Studies article that came out online in December, which looked at upzoning in New York and compared neighborhoods that had been upzoned versus neighborhoods that had not. And the upzoned neighborhoods actually saw their rents and their costs increase, and markers of gentrification increase. It was kind of surprising, but it was an enormous study, and it was really one of the few that had looked at a large area. So upzoning does not reduce costs. It doesn't reduce rents. So no, I don't support upzoning. There's a philosophy, the current sort of urban planning book that's making the rounds. Some of you probably remember The Rise of the Creative Class, but the current one is called Strong Towns, and it's got a lot of good ideas, and it's got ideas about transitional zoning like that, but it also has this kind of scary paragraph on page 60 that says cities need to triage, and they need to decide what neighborhoods to save and what neighborhoods to write off. And when I read that, a cold chill went down my back, because I don't see why we would write off any neighborhoods in Denton. So I think lived experience tells us we need to preserve our neighborhoods as much as possible. What is good about them? It's where people are raising their families. We need to preserve single family, because that's how people have generational wealth. On the edges, then we consult the neighborhoods. What do the neighborhoods want next to them? We don't look coldly at a sort of philosophy and decide, oh, this needs to be student housing or whatever. We need to focus on the lived experience.